And the first thing I will say, they must stop these tuitions first.
It's a pleasure to have Dr. Wasudeo Parate with us today. Parate sir, as we fondly address him, retired as the principal of ST College. And he was one of the few who saw the need for mental health in school-going children. He believes that every child must have an opportunity to excel, to succeed. With Children's Academy, he's had a long-standing association. He founded our counseling department, the care team, and so we consider him the father of mental health with children in schools. So namaskar sir.
Namaskar.
It's a pleasure and thank you so much for joining us. Parate sir, you've had a very long association with the Children's Academy group of schools. And in fact, as I said, you are the pioneer of our counseling department and we are acclaimed and known for our counseling department. So could you take me through your journey? How were your initial years?
No, I retired on 31st July 1995. So the ceremony was there, send-off ceremony was there. So Rohan sir was student of our college. So he was sent a formal invitation by our group of teachers. So he came on the day of my retirement. He met me. So casually I had talked with him that if you can give me some space in your school to start this counseling center, I will be there without expecting anything. That time he said, I don't have place with me, but I will definitely see to it. After senior but expired, I came here in the school just for condolence meeting with Rohan sir. And he said, from tomorrow you have to come. It was in 2001, that is September. I said, okay, I will come here. And he gave me that third floor place and I started with this one. So there were two schools only, this one and Ashanagar and Malad. So 3 days in Malad and 2 days in Ashanagar, that we have started. What happened when we came here, the teachers, other staff members have very wrong idea about the guidance and counseling work. So they used to say, ये क्या पागल की स्कूल है क्या? Right from that I said, okay. So यहाँ कोई पागल नहीं है, क्या करेंगे, कैसा मैजिक करेंगे? I said, okay. When you start any work, there will be opposition from the very beginning. Anybody will have opposition. But I had before me Jyotiba Phule and Savitribai Phule. For girls' education, they have taken so long. So I said, let me hear all these things, but I will work for, not for Children's Academy, but for guidance and counseling department, which was neglected by all government departments. So I started with that view, and formally then slowly they realized this thing, कि भाई यहाँ कुछ है.
In fact, I was just going to ask you that in the days gone by, words like learning disability were only mentioned in books. And not many people knew that this is something which can be practiced with children in schools. In those days, I think we could overhear words like duffer and bondu. Words like these were very commonly used. Now, I wouldn't say only our parents, but even teachers at times would use. So, how did you counter these challenges initially?
What happened, there was this girl who failed, but I told Rohan sir, she is a girl, if she fails second time, she will be a dropout. Dropout was not expected in schools. So I said, why don't you promote her? He promoted, but the father was an engineer, mother was a commerce graduate, and they were saying, why are you calling my daughter afterwards to counseling center? वो क्या mad है क्या? पागल है क्या? Then they quarreled. The parents, they went to her mother's place. She was a doctor, and they quarreled with her. They said, I don't want to interfere in school's matter. You go away." At 12 o'clock midnight, they phoned me. क्यों बुलाते हो मेरे बेटी को? क्या करती है? क्यों ये करते? I said, you are unnecessary disturbing me. This is not the time to call, so I don't want to reply it. कल से तुम्हारी बेटी को नहीं बुलाएंगे. So these are the things which were people were saying. After that I said, why not do something and learn things? I was not knowing anything about dyslexia.
Yes.
And about the other mental retarded children, when I was a student counselor with Institute of Vocational Guidance, they trained me to how to handle these students.
Okay.
Not only that, while doing internship with the JJ's JJ group of hospitals, in that is JJ hospital, I was there for 15 days with the psychiatry department to learn this thing.
Sir, in fact, there was a time where I still remember in the days gone by, words like Bewakoof, Dumbo, Duffer were commonly used not just by our parents, and I'm sure even by teachers as well. So how did you counter these challenges, at least in the school?
What happened, these students were not like that, but usually they had some problems, particularly in reading problems, writing problems, and the teachers, they were thinking that they cannot do anything. They cannot, but they were very good in speaking. Answering in the classroom, they were very good. So I just started reading about dyslexia. I was not knowing anything about the dyslexia. When I went to New Zealand, there is a very good library, and there I got so many research books and so on. 3 months I have studied these things. Then I have decided we will start testing and all that, so I have devised some tests and other things. Then I started and found that they are dyslexics. They are not that way, this one.
Yeah.
So with our test, I used to test them. We had intelligent test also in this one.
Okay.
They were all normal. But due to this some communication gap with their problem, they could not respond to teachers' questions, or they cannot write it.
In fact, if the parents are approached with a proposal of telling them that your child needs to go for an assessment, is not very, very much appreciated. Parents have immediately go on guard. They are like defensive. नहीं, हमारा बच्चा बीमार नहीं है, उसको psychiatrist की ज़रूरत नहीं है. I think I would thank Mr. Aamir Khan after his movie Tare Zameen Par, that a lot of Aam Janta came to know that there is something like a learning disability or dyslexia in particular, and of course further down in that study. So what change have you seen in the parents, in the attitude of the parents from the times then, as you mentioned, and now?
What happened when they came to our center? We started giving them certain instruction, remedial teaching, this thing. We used to do remedial teaching also in the initial stage. And during the initial, we see that how can they help this one. So we started remedial teachers also. Initially 2 years, he was a contract teacher was there. That is, then we said she was demanding much more money. So we said, why not we should have our remedial teacher in our schools.
Yes.
That's why we have appointed 2 remedial teachers in our 2 schools.
In fact, by the grace of God, Children's Academy Group of School has a full-fledged, well-equipped counseling department, team care, and we have 3 counselors, special educators, everyone supporting the team and supporting the children as well. So I'm sure it comes as a big, huge breather, because when parents come with their issues, problems, this generation problems, etc., to talk to the counselors, they feel free. Today I see a lot of freedom. I see a lot of broad mind, or an insight into it, that parents are open. Yes, barring a few, which is always going to be. So how has Children's Academy supported you completely? If you mentioned that Rohan sir was there, you have been associated with him for a very long time. So, on a broad parameter, how would you say, and what kind of support has Children's Academy given you?
What even Rohan sir was very broad-minded person.
That's true.
He was still in the Children's Academy group of schools. You have not understood him. I will say this. He has many talents. He was the general secretary of our college. And he is a very good actor.
Oh, that is really
Huh.
nice.
What happened? We had one competition on small skits to be presented by the colleges, that is intercollegiate B.Ed colleges.
Okay.
And the theme should be on education. So our college selected the theme on Karmavir Bhavrao Patil.
Okay.
All other colleges, their skits were in English. Our skit was in Marathi.
I see.
And Rohan sir acted as Karmavir Bhavrao Patil in the college and in Marathi drama.
Really?
So nobody knew this thing.
I'm sure. Nobody knows this aspect or facet of Rohan sir.
And we won the prize, second prize.
Incredible.
In all other things, his lessons, we used to say, all our teachers were saying his geography lessons, how he's teaching it and all that is perfect. I was teaching him education technology. So I used to say, everybody, that you have to do this thing, this is your homework, you have to do this one. But you sit here and do it, that is analysis, lesson, strips they have to make it. Lot of things they have to make it. So he used to do it. He never says, I will do it this one. There is no hesitation. He would say, so he learned many things. Still he remembers Bloom's taxonomy for educational objectives. Remember. So like that he was liked by all, even our principals and that time staff members, everybody.
So a progressive person like Rohan sir, I can now believe that with this strong counseling department across the 3 branches that we have and your strong support backing to set up these centers in all 3 schools is incredible. I think it's a huge task which you have handled at Children's Academy. Sir, if there was one message that you would want to give, let's say to people 50 years from now, what would it be?
Now, from right now, government has slowly started this thing.
Yeah.
In our 1985 education policy, the council's name is there, but it has not materialized now here. Now there are so many problems, parents' problem, homes problem, everybody has a problem, nobody is without a problem. So somebody should be there to counsel and sort out the problem, he should be outsider. About Children's Academy, what was my intention in this thing also, which Rohan sir supported. The one thing is that it is not limited to Children's Academy. Why not for other schools also? True. Means we will have a guiding center here for all other schools also in case they need some help. And literally I used to say that if you have some problems like that, send some teacher, we will give him information, or at least clerks, so that they can guide him. And other parents from your school, they will not go here and there for information.
Okay, so this is information for me that in those days that you have supported the other schools in the
other
vicinity
schools also.
as well.
And
So-
till now I am getting some phones from other schools also.
Okay.
So after 2070 also, this problem is not going to solve. The problems are there. They are not they are multiplied now again. So we must think that we should expand this, government should expand this one, and at least people should understand what they say. हमारे यहाँ कुछ नहीं है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Everything is there. Even family disputes are there, divorces are taking place. That is also divorced parents are there, parents' problems are there, orphan children are there. There's a lot of problems. They will be there. So we have to work for that also. At least the teachers or the counselors in Children's Academy, they can help them.
So what kind of support would a school require if they plan to set up a counseling department? Because every school must have one.
Every
As you
school
rightly
must
said,
have.
कि
Every
problems तो
school-
है और रहेंगी, आज भी है और आगे भी रहेंगी.
No, every school must have
Must
this
have.
one.
Very true.
What happened? Stepmother's problem is there.
Yes.
Divorce problem is
Yeah.
there. Parent, joint families problems are there. I had children from the school itself.
Huh.
That sir, I want to run away from my home. Now see this, a girl in SST class said, I want to run away from home. But what is the reason? She said, because our parents are separated. My grandparents have gone to the other side, and I love my grandparents, but my
Yes.
parents, they don't allow me to meet them.
Meet them. So do you think these
So these
problems...
are the problems.
So do you think these problems in the current times have escalated
Yes.
vis-a-vis the previous times?
Yes, it's more accelerated.
And what could be the possible reasons, sir? Because you take care of mental well-being, and I'm sure you have studied, you have explored as to what could be the reasons that these problems are seen in a very escalated mood today.
No, this cannot be stopped anybody. Nobody can do this one. Now you see the political situation is that the problem, they are creating more problems, so many things. It is not in my hand or your hand or anybody's hand.
Yes.
At least the political people, if they say that we will solve this problem, or if they behave properly, others will behave. There are so many problems which are created by politicians. So
Yes.
that is not by the teacher. What is the ideal person before you? Have you any person?
Not to my
Not. So
knowledge.
that is, they will
Yes.
increase. So these are my observations. Nobody can stop this problem. Problems will be multiplied every year.
And a message to our parents, sir?
Parents, they should not unnecessarily interfere in the students' studies. At least they must believe the teachers and educational institution. And the first thing I will say, they must stop these tuitions first.
Okay.
Because who are the teachers in coaching classes? What are their methods? We had a very small survey at who are the tuition teachers? They are not graduates. They are not postgraduates.
True.
They are not teachers. Their method of teaching is different. Our method is different. We are going very methodically.
Yes.
And the students are confused and problems are multiplied.
You just mentioned about certain domestic issues which could, kind of affect or influence our youngsters and add some stress to them. Like you said, the child wants to be with the grandparent and the parent is not able to understand. But in the school scenario, sir, what are the kind of pressures can a child foresee, and what message would you like to give to the teachers? How do we curb or at least contain these pressures or additional stress that we unintentionally may give to the student?
Teachers should first thing stop abusing them. The language should be very nice.
That's true.
No student is like that. I don't want to fail. Nobody said I want to fail.
Yes.
I used to say you will pass. Do this, you will pass.
So
So you say you will pass, you do it.
So the positive attitude.
Positive attitude is must.
Yeah.
Then you abusive language should avoid especially.
Abusive
Among
language.
the students also, they should not use abusive language.
True. I think abusive language could also entail calling them by nicknames, etc. In those were the time I remember, calling them, today what is considered as body shaming, chotu idara or motu or things like that. But I think even those should not be used at all in the school because children today are different.
Not in the school premises,
Yeah.
outside
Even
or
other-
in friendly
yeah,
talk, they
friendly
use
talk.
that is a different thing.
Yes, sir.
Even as a senior citizen also, we use sometimes neglect. They should have some jokes or this one.
So there's one question which comes to my mind, especially now after we have managed to salvage and survive after the COVID wave. So 2 years of COVID kept the children at home, isolated. And today I see that the parents are making a beeline for school because their children are quiet, they've become silent, they are depressed, they're down with anxieties. many similar kind of observations that our parents have made. So what would your advice be to us as a school? What should be our approach towards this issue? How do we deal with these children?
During the period of COVID, the students were not allowed to go out.
True.
Now naturally, play is their right, birthright.
Absolutely.
They want to play, but they are dumped in home.
True.
Mother said, no, sit here, do this, that thing compulsory. No school. If both the parents are working, they are saying that mother is at home, so they are very happy. Immediately after COVID, when the school started, they don't want to leave their mommy to go to work.
True.
Even for children's play, they were obstructed by many parents not to play till now. So students, they didn't like it. When they came to school, they were saying anything new, so the teachers and everything was new for them. Many teachers have changed.
Correct.
About in the primary school, this happened more. So they cannot see the teacher also. The peers are different, everything is different. So that is natural for them
To become silent.
we are in a very new situation, so naturally they are upset.
Absolutely.
To give you one example, that when a girl after marriage she goes to her in-laws, she is not set up for some days.
Still unsettling.
They are small children.
Yes, sir.
So they want some time also, but the first thing the school should have started is that they should have, instead of teaching them something in the club, open and play this one. But we have limitation, we can't give them more.
True.
If we should have given them some minor games or some things in school area, some games also, some problems can be solved.
Okay.
And parents...
How do we involve the parents in this?
No.
How does the school involve in our approach?
The parents, what are they saying? Learn this one, this you must do it, that thing you must do it. So parents should, I will say, as a parent also I will say, which I have experienced, do not interfere in the students' studies.
Okay.
Let them study on their own. If they don't study, the teacher will see to it. But
Okay.
they will see that if they get less mark, we scold them. Don't scold them. They will do it.
Okay.
Not one day, second day, third day. But you say, if you get something, do it. Give them some praise. Them अच्छा काम किया है.
Acha.
Better you say. Then parents should not overpress. You have to become a doctor, do this thing, that thing. For that you have to study. This much percentage is low. Why this is low? So don't talk about the percentage. Even if you get less percentage, there is nothing.
Yes.
The parents, they want to impose certain things on them, which the student, they don't like it. What matters if a doctor's son become, say, carpenter?
Okay. Yeah.
It doesn't matter anything.
Yeah.
My son, he is an engineer, mechanical engineer.
Yeah.
But when he was in New Zealand, he used to say, मुझे carpenter क्यों नहीं बना है? Because there is more demand of carpenters in New Zealand. First thing, parents must think that we should make him better citizen and better member, productive member of the society. That is the definition of counseling.
Correct.
Becoming a productive member and better citizen is needed than a doctor.
True. So it's a bitter pill, sir. The sooner the better it is taken.
Yes.
But as I understand from what you just said, the school has a huge responsibility, not just to deal with these children, but also to counsel the parents.
Parents also.
It's very important for us to make the parents understand that once they have come out in the free world, for them it's a free world now, it's important to give them that freedom for some time till they settle in this back to the normal situation. So yes, we will try our best, and we are trying our best to counsel the parents as well, that they should lay lesser emphasis on marks, but more emphasis on the mental well-being of their child. So I think, sir, you've given us very valuable insight for our messages for teachers, for parents, for schools, and Children's Academy group of schools will be eternally grateful to Parate sir. He is the pioneer of the care team at Children's Academy. Thank you so much, sir, for joining. Thank you so much.